Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction is not a light book to skim through, nor is it one of those shallow guides about pick-up tricks or quick manipulations. It's a deep exploration of human psychology, power dynamics, and the subtle ways people influence one another through charm, desire, and emotional entanglement. Greene doesn't just write about seduction in the romantic sense, he treats it as one of the oldest forms of social power, woven into politics, art, relationships, and history itself. To seduce, in his definition, is to disarm the rational defenses of another person, to bypass logic, and to touch something deeper, fantasy, longing, insecurity, or desire. What makes this book enduring is how Greene unpacks the strategies, the archetypes, and the consequences of seduction with brutal clarity. He begins with the archetypes of seducers, painting vivid portraits of the different forms seduction can take. There is the siren, who lures with sensual presence, slowing down the world around them. There is the rake, consumed by desire, who makes their targets feel intoxicatingly desired. The ideal lover taps into the voids of another person's imagination, embodying what they secretly crave. The charismatic seducer draws people in with confidence and a magnetic sense of purpose. There are others, the coquette, who gives and withholds, the dandy, who plays with gender and rebellion, and the natural, who charms with innocence and authenticity. Each archetype is not just a caricature but a psychological strategy, a way of bending desire by embodying something the other person is lacking. Beyond archetypes, Greene walks us into the stages of seduction. It begins with the art of attention, how to stand out without revealing too much. The seducer stirs curiosity and enters the fantasies of others. Seduction deepens with tension, ambiguity, and suggestion rather than blunt force. Greene emphasizes that people do not fall in love with reality but with the illusions you create for them, and the seducer's role is to feed those illusions. At its core, seduction is storytelling. You become the character that another person's imagination has been waiting for. This is why seduction feels so powerful. It answers desires that people often don't even articulate to themselves. Yet Greene does not hide the darker edges. Seduction is manipulation, and every seduction carries the seeds of danger, obsession, dependence, betrayal, collapse. To seduce is to play with human vulnerability, and once the spell is broken, the victim often feels shame, anger, or resentment. Greene is unapologetic about this because for him, seduction is not about morality but about power. Every politician who captures a crowd, every artist who entrances an audience, every leader who holds a room in silence, is practicing seduction. Whether you see it as dangerous or necessary depends on how honest you are about human nature. What makes the book powerful is the way Greene connects seduction with history. He invokes Cleopatra, Casanova, Valentino, Marilyn Monroe, JFK, people whose influence came not from brute force but from the way they could make others feel. A seducer is not someone who forces, but someone who pulls. Not someone who convinces with arguments, but someone who rearranges emotions until resistance feels impossible. The greatest seducers, Greene argues, never appear to be trying. Their power is rooted in mystery, timing, and restraint. Applying these lessons in life is not about becoming a manipulative caricature but about understanding the psychology at play. If you know that people crave fantasy more than reality, you can shape how you present yourself in relationships, careers, or social circles. If you recognize the importance of attention, you can cultivate an aura of presence that makes others drawn to you without desperation. If you understand the dance of giving and withholding, you can avoid the trap of overexposure, letting people want more from you. In business or leadership, seduction means storytelling, vision, and charisma. In personal relationships, it can mean embodying the qualities someone else secretly longs for, becoming not just a person but an experience. But there is also a cautionary side to applying Greene's ideas. Seduction is powerful precisely because it deals with emotions and vulnerabilities, which means it can destroy as easily as it can enchant. To use it recklessly is to risk leaving others broken, bitter, or vengeful. To use it with awareness, however, is to move through life with an understanding of what makes people feel alive, inspired, and moved. Greene's work is less of a manual for tricking people and more of a mirror for how power, desire, and longing really function beneath the polite masks of society. In the end, the art of seduction is both a weapon and a warning. It reminds us that humans are not logical creatures who make decisions by reason alone, but beings who are led by emotion, fantasy, and unconscious longing. To master seduction is to master attention, timing, and presence. It's about making people forget themselves and feel as though you hold the missing piece of their life. Whether you use this knowledge to manipulate or to deepen your influence depends on your intention. But one thing is certain, ignoring seduction means leaving one of the most powerful forces in human interaction unexamined.